This is Andy Pearl off Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by Stephen Swifty Smith. Stephen, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. You okay?
Well, good, thank you. Obviously, I appreciate you giving up your time today. I know you've all just finished what's been a very strenuous session having watched on. Getting all my words from up now. What's it like, though, being in and amongst camp once again, having such a long layoff because of your injury? What's it been like just to be back in and amongst it? I know you've had a couple of fights since, but what's it been like?
You know what? It's good. It's good to just be back among mates, to be honest with you. Like back training hard and getting back in the swing of things. But I say I enjoy coming to the gym because we're all close. We all get on. People see how close we are in here, and it's good just to get out the house, get to the gym, and enjoy yourself while you're doing it.
I said to Jose and I said to Sam earlier that today I've turned up and everybody just seems especially sharp. Everyone seems extremely on it. What's it like at the minute, the camp itself and the gym compared to your past years that you've been here?
No, I think it's sort of, it's bouncing at the minute. I think everyone's sort of in a good place. I think with Crolla and Callum both having bills back to back coming up, and big fights type of thing. Callum's defending his world title, and Crolla, as everyone knows, is sort of coming to the last one. So it's a big night for both of them, and they're both training hard, but they're both looking well as well. It's not like an ending's late, but they're both looking really good and on good form. So the gym's excited to see how the two of the fights go, but also we're training alongside them, so we're doing the similar sessions, and we're looking to get involved ourselves.
I mean, I was going to come on to Anthony and Callum later on, but as you have mentioned them there, we'll start there. Firstly, with Anthony, knowing it's his last bout, his retirement fight, his last dance as it's been called. What's it been like for you seeing him in this final camp, knowing that your time together as campmates is coming to an end?
Yeah, obviously I've done a hell of a lot of sparring with Anthony over the years. He's very close to myself and brothers, obviously, but it's a mad one because he's on as good a form as I've seen him in a long time. He's really looking well in the gym. He always works hard, he always puts it in, but just the way he's performing, the way he's sparring, the way his training's going, it's a bit of a sweet thing that it's coming to the end for him, because he sort of looks like he's got more in him, but it's not for me to say. Do you know what I mean? It's when you've made your decision's done, and good on the lad, but he looks really well.
I mean, you say that, but when I interviewed Jose earlier, Jose said he feels that he can't quite understand why Anthony's looking to retire, having seen him in this camp in particular.
That's what I mean. It is one of them. You watch him in the gym and you're thinking, the last fight, usually you're used to seeing people last fight and they've lost it, so to speak, and they're just sort of getting a good bike fight and it's done with. But he's really fine. He looks good, and I think people are going to get a shock when they see the performance out of him and wonder why. Probably the same as a lot of other people. Why is he retiring? But it's his own choice, and obviously I always wish Anthony well.
Obviously he's facing Frank Akuiaga. Again, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if you want to give it a chance, Stephen.
No, I haven't got a clue what it is. Couldn't even tell you.
But obviously that fight was only announced yesterday. What are your thoughts with regards to it being such a late announcement? Knowing it was Anthony's last fight, I'm sure everybody would have anticipated it being announced a lot sooner. What are your thoughts of it being left so late?
I think it's not bad for Anthony. I think it's one of them where it's just less notes for the opponent. He's been training hard, he's been knowing this date's coming, so Anthony's obviously had a good camp. As I just mentioned before, he's looking really well, so I don't think it mattered to him. It's just sort of worse for the opponent type of thing, the fact that he's getting less notice. But I think it's one of them. I don't think he wanted like the big massive sort of builds up to a fight being announced and everyone sort of jumping on. I think it was more just about him. It's about Anthony having his last dance, so to speak, and I think they've built the show around it, that line, and the fact that it is his last fight, whoever it may be in the corner, and that's showing now that they've only just announced one.
And moving on to your brother Callum getting ready for John Ryder, mandatory defence of his WBA world title. What are your thoughts on that fight and the fact that the mandatory was called, knowing Callum had those ambitions to try and secure a unification battle, one of the other bigger names in the division?
Yeah, it's one of them. No, it's part and parcel of the sport. You know when you're world champion, you've got to have a mandatory. You get volunteer defences, but you've got to have your mandatory every, whatever it may be. Some of the governing bodies are more strict than others, but it's his mandatory's come along, and I think Callum being Callum, he'll fight all comers, whoever's there, and the fact that it's John Ryder's mandatory, it's an all British fight, then it's fair enough. It's get it done, get it out the way type of thing. That's mentality with it, and I think no disrespect to John, I think he's on good form at the minute. He's boxing well, but he's never been in the ring with anything like Callum, and I think you'll see that on the night.
How much better do you feel Callum can get? Like when I've just watched him on the pads then with Joe, and it's actually quite frightening just how sharp and how accurate and how powerful his punches themselves sound. How much more do you think Callum has to give? Especially, I've spoken to Joe, he sees Callum retiring within 18 months to 2 years. I don't know if you've had that conversation with Callum yourself, but how much more do you think Callum has left to give to show how much better he can be?
He's improving all the time. He's learning. He's a perfectionist in his own out where he does things right. And he does. You look at his technique in his fights. His non-punching hand all the time. He does a lot of things right and naturally, and he's very good at that. But he's getting better and better now, just through confidence and through knowing he's the best. It's one thing saying you're the best, but when you're in there and you're world champion and you're a Ring Magazine belt holder, then you are the best, and he's got to go and show it now. And I think sort of the levels will come out on the 23rd of November when he's in with John Ryder again. John's on good form. He's had a couple of good wins, but none of them are in the calibre and the capabilities of what Callum is. And I think that to me is what's gonna show on the night, and sort of his level. And then once he's won and he's got that out the way, he can then go on to next year to unifying the belts and to having the big, the Anfield fight and stuff like that. But that all goes away if he loses, and he knows that. So he's got to win and got to do a job. But going back to Callum and how long he's got in the sport, that's only down to Callum's own mentality. Callum he's like, I don't want to be hanging around the sport for years and years. He's got a daughter now. She'll be 1 in January, and I think he just thinks, he's done a lot of what he wants to do. He's got a couple more goals he wants to do, and then once he's done them, he'll walk away from the sport. He'll be happy, and he's financially secure. So it's just about setting targets, meeting them, and then getting out the sport with all your health intact.
Obviously, there was that little delay with Callum announcing his bout with John, but also his promotional status. For obviously the talks of the offers over in the States, and then obviously Eddie's offer put to him. Why do you think it is there was that kind of delay and the rumblings on that a contract never had been agreed? Or I spoke to Eddie as soon as it was agreed, and Eddie just said that he's never actually had Callum tied down to a contract. It's been more of a fight by fight type thing. Why is it that maybe Callum hasn't himself decided to sign a long-term deal with a promoter?
No, I just think what it was just Callum was getting better and better and better, and Callum was winning more titles, more belts. And then once he becomes sort of world champion, won the ring belt, and he's number one in the division, all of a sudden then people realise, hang on a minute, he's not contracted. So I think it was just interest. I think it was just basically he was getting offers from America, multiple offers, and they were all big offers. And it was sort of one of them then where it was like, I think Eddie thought himself probably, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but maybe we need to do the same thing and try and get a contract sorted where, rather than them sign with someone else, why not keep him with Matchroom where he's been throughout his career, and he's always been happy. He's openly said that. He's never it's never been a case of having a bad relationship with Eddie or anything like that. He's brought him through from day one, and Callum's being happy, and I think it was just sort of a case of getting something tied down, and it did, and it's all done. And I think Callum being Callum, he's not like confrontational, and I think he's happy it's done and behind him. Now he can just concentrate on what he does, and that's getting the ring and win fights.
Moving on to yourself, obviously we just had a brief chat off camera there with regards to your plans as to what division you can see your future lying in. You mentioned lightweight, obviously you had best part of 2 years off because of your ear injury. Is that where you can just see your career maybe lying, dependent on opportunities that present themselves? Yeah,
I think we're having a time out, and obviously you get old, you're not getting any younger as time goes by, and it's a thing now where when I come back, could I have come back and jumped in, there was fights getting mentioned all the time at Super Feather, and I didn't want to be the type of person to go, yeah, go on, I want that fight, jump right in and announce a fight at Super Feather, and then 2 weeks out go, nah, do you know what, I can't make the weight. So I wouldn't disrespect any opponent like that anyway, and I think, to go into a big fight, you want to be 100% yourself, and I don't want to go in thinking, can I actually do the weight? So that's why I've just said lightweight. I know I can do lightweight, I know I can do that well, so I'm going to get a couple of fights at lightweight, and sort of, good, as in, not like the two little takeovers. I've had like proper fights, get an international title or something, and get in there and see how I'm performing at lightweight, and then I'll make a decision, can I still do Super Feather? Probably not, so I'll probably stay at lightweight and just set myself goals at that and targets and just see where I can get to. My ambition's still the same now. I've always said, if I lose again, I'm done. I'm not going to hang around the sport, so I think I've just got to go at it 100%. I don't want to get in there with doubts, thinking, can I make the weight and stuff, and then as the fight comes, what's going to be left in me if I hate myself doing the weight. I don't want none of that. I want to get in there knowing that, I give my best and see whether it was good enough.
I mean, when can you see yourself being out again? Have you got any designs on being on the Callum's undercard against John Reuter?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that's what I'm sort of training towards. I'm gonna train to be fit and ready and on that bill, and if not, then close to it, because I say I'm training with Callum. I'm doing all the sessions, all the training. I'm aiming in my own head. I'm giving it that sort of time frame that I want to be in. I want to be fighting, but again, I want to be having proper fights and seeing what's there.
I mean, I know you said to me previously, Joe said to me, Callum, your brothers, etc. They've all said you have those ambitions still to become a world champion once again. Lightweight may present itself with a lot of opportunities for yourself, because Vasyl Lomachenko said if he can become undisputed, he intends on vacating straight away to move back down to super feather. Was that maybe in your thinking as well, knowing that once those belts all become vacant, you can kind of slide yourself in there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the minute, my decision is based on me. It's no one else. Yeah. It's nothing like that. It's just based on me and what I can do. Again, going back to it, I don't want to be killing myself and getting in the ring and being hard for myself because I'm weak at the weight and stuff. So it was about me first and foremost. But that being said, obviously, if next year all the belts become vacant and stuff, then it sort of gives you targets and aims to, can I do that? Can I win one? Because Lomachenko's special is unbelievable, and it's not someone that I'd ever really mention as a fight. So it's one of them. If he does do that and it sort of blows the division up, then there's all belts for everyone to aim at. Then could I get myself in there? We'll see. But yeah, I think I will be better suited at lightweight now. We're having the time off, and I think it just stops me depleting myself more to get super feather, I imagine.
And there was just a couple of quick things that I wanted to touch on away from yourself and the stable here. This coming weekend, Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor. Your thoughts on that one, Stephen?
Do you know what? One of the most probably anticipated fights I've looked forward to myself for a while. It's I keep sort of changing my mind as well. I'm a big fan of Josh Taylor. Like him, like the way he goes about his work. I haven't made much of Prograis, and it was something like Liam mentioned to me before the tournament was starting. He was like, "No, he's good," and I went and watched him, and I was really impressed by him. I think he's very good. He's got everything, but more and more the build-up goes. And when I seen the head-to-head and stuff, I fancied Taylor more. I don't know why. I just think he's just got this way about him where I think he seems a lot more confident about the fight. But I could never write Prograis off again. You could ask me tomorrow, I pick Prograis. You can ask me the next day again, I pick Taylor again. So I hate people sitting on the fence, and I'm sort of like that myself. But I think when the tournament started, after watching all watching all them fight, I thought Prograis would win it. So I was sort of siding with him. But I don't know. Josh Taylor's winning me now as the build-up's coming, so I don't know.
I mean, on that undercard, there's another fight which has kind of been given a 50-50 tag between Derek Chisora and David Price. Your thoughts on that one as well, Stephen?
Again, going back to it, I think it just depends on David Price. I think a lot of the time you go into fights, like I said then, I think I probably picked Prograis before it, but Josh Taylor, and seeing the way his belief and his confidence in himself, I think he's sort of winning me over. I think it's similar with this fight. I think if David Price gets in and David Price does what David Price can do, he can win the fight, and he go out and win it. Everyone knows what the power he's got. Do you know what I mean? It's just basically how well prepared he is with having the short notice. But he's a good mate of mine. I've seen him actually yesterday in the gym. I know he's looking well. He's going into it 100% in his own head that he believes he can win. He believes he can knock Chisora out. So it's going to be exciting for the fans, because everyone knows what Chisora turns up all the time. He always gives it 100% and he gets in as a fight. So it's just whether that'll work into him or playing to Price's hands. If he just walk onto something, I think it'll be explosive. I think it'll start early, the fight. So I'm going to be excited to watch it, and obviously, Price is my good mate. We win it.
Well, Stephen Smith, I've kept you for long enough, as well as I have with everybody else, so I appreciate it, Tom, once again. I appreciate you hanging back. Thank you for speaking to myself on Boxing Social.
Sam, mate, nice one. It's good going back to the 50-50s there. It's good to see it this weekend, because I thought last weekend there was 2 fights there, what I thought was very hard to split as well. So it's good for boxing, having these fights where the boxing fans are sitting there, and even as boxers can't pick them. If you'd have told me last weekend's fight, if you'd have picked 2 winners, I'd probably say, go on, I'll have to do the 2, just as a laugh, because I think they were very hard to split, and I think it's the same again this weekend, so it's good for the sport.
I mean, unfortunately, now you have brought them up, Stephen, we'll go on to them before I do let you shoot. What did you make of Reuter versus Robbie Davis Jr, and obviously Fitzgerald versus Cheeseman?
Good. I think the Fitzgerald Cheeseman surprised me. I didn't think it was the fight I thought it would be. I thought Fitzgerald's tactics, really shocked me. I thought he'd obviously come up and be the aggressor and be the engine he's got on him and stuff, and sort of whether Cheeseman, have the engine on him and the work rate and stuff, and whether Fitzgerald could keep up with him and stay with him or outbox him or whatever. And Cheeseman just completely surprised me with the way he come out and boxed on the back foot and stuff, and I think he surprised everyone. So it wasn't sort of the fight I thought, but I always had Cheeseman winning. In my own head I thought Cheeseman's winning, but he surprised me, he's boxing well. But then I was getting late. Fitzgerald was like taking off the rounds. He won the last 4 rounds. I was thinking, hang on, this is close now. So I wasn't really sure at the end, and I knew it would be close. And then going into the next one of the days when I thought brilliant fight to watch, one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. I think Robbie Davis worked. I thought he was behind early, and I think he showed a lot of heart and just kept going and kept plugging away. And the last round was unbelievable. The shots Ritson was throwing. So I think I've got to give every credit to both of them. It was a great fight to watch, and I was sure it could happen again down the line.
Well, Stephen Smith, I will now let you leave unless you've got something else to bring up. Thank you once again for speaking to myself on Boxing Social.
Thanks a lot, mate.